So I start once again. Thank you for joining our first training for the Innovation as a Service for Danube region project. I will just, as it's the first training, I will give a short introduction to remind everybody of the context and the partners and what is the objective of the training. But first, let me welcome our also three speakers, which I will mentioned later a bit more in detail. So we have Dominik Stelzmüller from BWCon in Germany, Baden-Württemberg, who is with us. We have Akos, comes from our partnership from Hungary, and we have Bernhard Kölmel, who is professor at Pforzheim University, also in Baden-Württemberg. Thank you, Bernhard, also for joining. So the trainings, so not taking too long at the beginning of the meeting. I try to move to the next slide, but my computer doesn't like it. So to remember about the project, why we did this project. So innovation as a service is let's say the main part of the title, which is it's derived from the concept of servitization of the economy, and we have tried to apply it to the delivery of business support services, innovation support services, and we target mainly industrial, rural, remote areas in the Danube regions with low innovation capacity. Low meaning compared to, for instance, capital regions, or so it's relatively low in their national context. It is not necessarily absolutely low innovation capacity, and we try to help those regions to develop new business and innovation support services, so that they can deliver especially more integrated service, bringing together the capacities and the competences of different organizations, different business support providers, which is one of the challenges to, let's say, to make the next step in delivering business innovation services. In the project, we first developed regional nodes to bring those people together who are willing to deliver jointly new innovation services or improved innovation services. This was the first part of our project, the first year, which is completed. We completed last month. We are now entering what we call the academy, when we will help the regions to develop their capacities, to train people, to learn more about potential new innovation services. This is the activity we are currently in today with this meeting. And we do that to support the activities that will start soon in our third work package, which is to implement pilots where we will test those new services, and we will hopefully be able to take over some of the learnings of the trainings from today and the ones that will follow. So this is where we are in terms of project, to set the context, but the partners know that, but maybe also for Bernhard and Dominik, just a quick overview without entering into details of the project. So today we are more specifically into this training program for the transfer of knowledge between partners, but also with some external speakers that we will then use into our pilots. Our trainings, as an overview, this is the first training of a longer series. We will have what we call core trainings. So more or less every 2 weeks on Tuesday morning, we will meet to hear about different topics and learn from the partners and their stakeholders about how they address the topics which are listed here and what are their practices, their experiences. And then we will have some advanced trainings where we will have 1 day full trainings dedicated to more specific topic, which were raised by the partners and are dedicated to some very specific services. Some of them are a bit redundant because they were highlighted as specifically important by the partners. So this is the program. The target group are mainly the project partners and the stakeholders, but mainly the project partners. And so I'm happy that we are able to start on time, and that we are looking forward to a very rich program ahead of us. So until September. So here today, first training on information expert knowledge and consulting, which was a bit of a not so sexy title, but because there were so many topics, we did not manage to find a better title, but it covers a very large area that you will hear from the different speakers. And this is the program for today. So we will hear in this order from Dominic from BVCon and Baden-Württemberg. Dominic will introduce in detail BVCon, so I will not tell a lot, but I'm very happy to have Dominic and BVCon. They're very strong organization, business support organization in Baden-Württemberg, and they're a very good example, in my view, of how networking can help to leverage cooperation across different actors, can help to leverage the quality of business support delivery. Then we will have Akash, which you know, it's out of a partnership, and we will insist more in details on the cooperation with startups, experts, and research institution, which was highlighted as a specific topic. And finally, we will hear from Bernard about business intelligence and innovation, and he will describe some practical approaches how to use knowledge from industry reports, trends, and so on to deliver better innovation support, or to implement better innovation processes into companies. So this is the program. We have a maximum of 3 hours. We might finish a bit earlier, depending on the number of questions you will have. But this is the rough framework we have. And if there are no questions at this stage, I suggest that we start right now with the first presentation with Dominic, who sent me an earlier detailed presentation, and yeah, very interested to hear from you, Dominic. I see in the chat it asked if the session is recorded. Yes, it is recorded, and the recordings will be available to the partners as well as the presentations. Later on, it will join our knowledge base and will be available for also regional stakeholders you would like to inform about the contents. So yes, you will get all the documentations, and you will have access to the recording. Okay, Dominic, I'll let you introduce yourself more in details and share your presentations. The stage is yours. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for the introduction. 1 second for sharing my slides.
Yeah, we can see it in presentation mode. It works fine.
Okay. Just waiting a moment more. Okay, so good morning. My name is Dominik Stelzmüller from BVCon. I'm a senior consultant for business model and innovation process, and I wish you all a happy new year. And thank you very much for the invitation, Luc, for today. And you will get the slides at the end from Luc, I will share it. So no problem. Okay, let's start. First, I want to give you an overview about the BVCon network and our activities and our history. 1 moment. Yeah, 1 second. Does it work for now? Stand.
Are you trying to change slides or? No, okay.
No, well, no, just I don't know what's going on with the presentation. Let me see. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, please try to go to the next slide.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry for the issue.
No problem.
Okay. So at the beginning, I want to show you some facts about our ecosystem, how we build it up, and then we can, in the second part, we can go deeper and also with your questions and focus on special topics if you want. So BWCON stands for Baden-Württemberg Connected and was founded in 1997 as a club because we wanted to connect different companies and especially corporates at the beginning to discuss about technologies, new technologies, and how we can use these technologies in Baden-Württemberg and how we can build up new business models and so on with this new technologies. And what was very important at the beginning to say that innovations always are close connected to startups. So we need a startup department or a startup accelerator program and startup supporting. So in 2014, so 10 years ago, we integrated a service provider company for a holistic realization of the digital transformation. And in 2018, a research department for application-oriented research projects with the focus on new technologies. At the moment, AI and blockchain are at the focus. And today we are one of the biggest high-tech networks in South Germany, a big ecosystem for a holistic view of implementation and digital transformation. So what is very important for us to say, we are not only in Stuttgart located in the capital of Baden-Württemberg. So we have we're represented in 7 cities. So we want to be very close to our customers and work also in small regional local networks close together with them. But we are also involved in European wide corporations with other partners or in European projects like Horizon, Interact, and so on. That's just an overview of our EU projects. We're involved at the moment in Mind for Machines, SoTech-In, CloudCamp, and Megastrat. And Restart and DG for Region is already finished. And if you want to get more details, you can click on this link. The description of the projects on our website is also in English, so you can get all information about this if you are interested in. So let's have a view on our Innovation Navigator. We have four big aspects for us. So first is the topic startup. We want to support startups. We have startup accelerators. We want to connect them. We want to get finance options for them. We have innovation process inside corporates and SMEs. We have the BWCON Academy as a service, and we have our community for connecting startups, corporates, SMEs, and so on all together. And we're working very close in this. Sorry for that, it's just the German slide. I didn't get it from my marketing department in English, but we will go deeper later in this aspect. So we have startups in our ecosystem, we have corporates in our ecosystem, investors, and also universities and science partners. So this is our ecosystem. And we try to connect all these aspects, all these partners inside this ecosystem. This is very important for us to get this cross-functional connection to all of them. Okay, let's go deeper in the field of startups. What does startup mean for us, or which services? We have startup accelerators. We try to get funding for them, and networking means we promote and accompany young, high-tech startups into the growth phase, connect them with pilot customers and investors, and support them in established marketing performance. And startups will find at Bevicon the perfect ecosystem for rapid and healthy growth in the Bevicon network. So we support them in business planning, access to investors, pilot customers, finance opportunities. We support in the acquisition and accounting of subsidies. We have pilot projects to test technologies and business models, and we have acceleration programs with targeting offers for growth-oriented startups. We enable established companies to start the digital transformation and in the right places to initiate innovation and change process and to be sustainable competitive. So digital transformation does not work according to a strong scheme. So we have to be very individual with all our customers because they stand at a different level in the field of digitalization and digital transformation. And that's very important to work very close together with them. So we have their digi-checks for analysis, needs, potential determination. We support in the acquisition and accounting of subsidies. We are external moderator, motivator. We're sparring partner in digital transformation for our customers, and we help to implement these innovation processes. We develop a new value creation models with them, and we give them access to new technologies and support for pilot projects. And what is very important at the end, a change process at the level of corporate culture. So this is very important, and this is one big difference to other players at the market. They say, I help you just with innovation or just to build up a new product. But you also need this change aspect and this cultural aspect in this field of digital transformation. Bevicon Academy means to realize the digital transformation, specialists are needed who are able to control the necessary process and projects in the company. And our trainings and courses impart specific know-how and personal development concepts in the long term. We have, for example, future qualification as an innovation manager. We have future qualifications as a sustainable manager. We have a special course for AI business development managers. So all courses and all seminars are focused on future visions and future technologies. So that is very important for us. We do not offer an Excel course or something like that. There are a huge partners in the market. They can do this, but we're focusing always on future technologies and our future vision. So our community is very important for us and also for our customers. We have over 6,000 experts from high-tech industry inside our network. We are one of the biggest platforms for knowledge exchange and networking. to different formats and in online courses and also in events, in bigger events like the High Tech Summit and so on. We do in present. We have some special interest groups. I can show you these groups later for knowledge exchange and for networking among the members of our association. We have interactive events, formats, and discussions, demonstrations, also at companies, and that's very important to have this knowledge exchange, especially for cross industries. So we focus on different industries, not only on one industry. So we want that our members and our customers can learn from other industries. For example, what can manufacturer in the automotive industry learn from the pharma industry, or pharma industry can learn from energy sector. So what's different, what's the same, how do they handle with or deal with innovations and with hurdles and so on and so on. So, and that's very important. And so we have nearly every week an event, and you can network and discuss with other people from our network nearly every week. So, what are the benefits for our members? We have networking at the conferences, roundtables and events, regional networks, I told you, an expert exchange in the special interest groups, support for project collaboration between the state, federal government and the EU. We have a DigiCheck and communication options via the BWCon network. Digital transformation, entrepreneurship and innovation. What does it mean, or what are the main blocks for this, for a successful transformation? Innovative high-tech startups are the suppliers of the technologies and the procedures. We have a pilot project to test new technologies and value-added models. We do needs-oriented analysis of the potential of digital transformation by the DigiCheck. I can show it later to you how it looks like. Continuing education and personal development for sustainability, securing skilled workers, innovation process, business planning and development for data-based value models, and subsidy management for financing, moderating, and a huge network. So by now, do you have any questions? Otherwise,
yeah, please, you can just raise your hand and ask questions. I know, as I have seen the presentation, that Dominic has some more details on
yes,
some of those service provisions, so I will not ask specifically question about that. But maybe to let people maybe some time to collect questions or to think of their questions, I can start, Dominic. I would like to go back first to one of your first slides when you displayed the map of Baden-Württemberg and the different. Oh yes, thank you. Just going back, and the difference of different offices.
yeah.
Interesting. I would just like to ask you if you can say a few words about how the work is organized. Are the competences, do you have centralized competences which then the different local offices can use, or do you have the competences basically located in the different locations and you bring them together as you need, or which is the balance how you, when you work locally, for instance in Aigen, do you bring in people from Necker, or well, things like this, how you organize the work?
That's a very good question, and it's always a huge challenge for us. We have our headquarters in Stuttgart, and we have like, let's say, network managers in all of these regions, and an office in all of these regions. So these office managers are in their regions in contact with the customers in their regions, very close, try to connect them, try to find out what their needs are, doing things like I can show you later, Tiki check and so on. But then if you need more specification and more detail, and if they have some specific issues, then we work very close together also with experts from Stuttgart or from other regions, and we share this information and we try to help. This is one of the main aspects. What do our customers need? What's the problem? What's the issue? How can we help them? Who has the competence inside our company? We have about 45 employees, and we're working very close together in different meetings and on platforms, and try to help our customers to get the or to fulfill their needs.
Thank you. What is in oh, Igor, I see your questions. Yeah, go on, Igor. Yeah, you need to unmute yourself. Yeah. Igor, if you cannot unmute yourself.
Okay. I'm just trying to find the button.
We can hear you.
I wanted to say you can ask the questions in the chat. I can read them loud, but no, you can speak. Go on.
Oh, sorry. If you want, I can write.
No,
it's okay.
Okay, just so acceleration process is oriented on the digital transformation. Am I right? They are not working with the startups in the boosting on the market. This is one question. Another, it's what kind of model of cooperation you have with the 6,000 of experts. It's a massive number, and it's very impressive. And let's say about membership. It's only a startup company. What kind of relationship is a membership fee, or what kind of relationship you have with the with the startups? They are exclusively startups, or maybe there is some individuals who are initiate some business. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the question. So as I told you at the beginning, we have like a club structure, and we start with this club structure, and you can become a member if you want. The startups as well as the corporates, but you can also work close together with us without a membership. So there are just different services and different events and so on, and a little bit more. For example, the special interest groups for this networking. And also, if a customer has a need and we try to fulfill it, but we have not the competence inside our BBCon employees, we ask our members and say, hey, look, we have this issue. Do you have the technology, or do you have some services to help our customers? So then we work with 2, 3, 4 different companies close together for one customer. So, and it is only with our members. So because we want then we have to trust each other, we have to work very close to each other, and this is a part of the membership. So, but it's not necessary to be a member. It's just a little bit closer. It's like your club, your football club, and so on. You can become member, and then you can get special offers, more tickets, and so on. But you can also watch it in TV. Yeah, it's a little bit like this. Okay. Sorry, your other question was, Igor?
About cooperation with your experts. I mean, you have a lot of people, a lot of experts.
Yeah. We have first we have these experts. Some of them are also members in the club, and then we have the Steinbeis Foundation. We are also part of the Steinbeis Foundation, and the Steinbeis Foundation is one of the biggest expert structures in Baden-Württemberg, or also in Germany. They have also partners worldwide, but it was founded in Stuttgart, and so they have partners at universities and transfer centers and so on, and we can work very close together with them if it's needed. So this is like an other network when we are very close working together with other networks. So we have no there's no competitive, it's just cooperation for us. And also with local small network ecosystems, we work very close together.
Dominic, maybe I can ask a little bit more, because I know the question has been raised also by other partners. When you work with those experts, do you have any kind of formal contracting them? Or are you working on a trust basis and you set up a ad hoc team to solve the question, and then you work together and that's what you do?
Yeah, it depends on.
Yeah.
If I get from my customer, if I get the question, say, do you know someone who has this or that, or a solution for an AI tool? I say, hey, okay, I connect him with Luke, and let's do it on your own, and call him and try to do it on your own. But if we work very close in bigger projects and also in transformational projects, then we have contracts here. It depends on if it is a subcontract, or we get this offer, we make half, and it's different. So, and also if you want to be a consultant inside our network, so not an employee, but to work as or registered in a consultant, you have to be a member, and you have to fulfill a consultant profile, and we check this, and we look what's your CV like, and what's your experience in this field, and so on. We also have this. So we have different stages to work with the experts together.
Okay, so you have some kind of white list of consultants, let's say, in different areas. Okay, very good. And I would like to go deeper also in the first part of Igor's questions, as far as I understood it, because it came also from other people. You mentioned in your presentation, you mentioned innovation processes, but you also focus a lot on digital transformation. Is it for you the same, or are you dealing with any kind of innovation processes, even if it's not related specifically to digital?
Yeah, I can show it.
Yeah,
we can go a little bit deeper in this. 1 second. In this innovation process.
Yeah, exactly.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Consulting for SMEs. So organization, strategy, and implementation. This can be a customer journey for digital transformation. So, sorry for that. These 6 steps. So we started with the analysis. We do this sticky check, a potential analysis. We look how the technology acceptance is at the SME, and that's the first thing. And then we analyze, especially the sticky check, and say, okay, our recommendation is this, that, and that. So, and then we start with a strategy how to implement it. So we do workshop for data-based value creation strategy. So, and then innovation is, it depends on some of our customers say we have some ideas, but we didn't implement it in the past. Can we try to do it again with you? Or we create new ideas. We do innovation or ideation workshops with them. And then it's so step by step we develop this transformation journey with our customers. So, and then you have a strategy, you have some ideas after an innovation process, and then we say, okay, impact. And that's the critical phase here at the moment, because they are to create new ideas, it's always fun and cool workshops and so on. And then you have a lot of this post-its and so at the wall, and then say, okay, what idea do you want to implement now, and who? And do you have budget for this? And so on. Are the hurdles at the moment, and now holidays, and now this, and now that, and then you have often here like between 3 and 4, you have a huge gap. And so it's very important to start very fast to implement the first one, just one. That's enough. One idea, and say, okay, let's establish this in your company. What do we need for this? And then you can here also get the support from our experts, support from startups to say, look, you have this idea, and we have a startup with a solution for that. They created an AI solution which can help here at the moment, and then we bring both together. We connect them at this stage 4. And then also transformation means then go deeper, transform also the company, the organization, what's the business model for that, who is responsible for the sales, the old sales. So before I have a sales department only responsible for products like heavy machines, and now they sell, they say digital services. Does it work or not? Do they have the skills for that, and so on? So that's a big hurdle at this part. And then we have to be very close with our customers, qualify the employees, the staff for this new business model, for this other organization model, for example, for the culture, and so on. So this can be a customer journey for digital transformation.
Okay, Dominic, I'm looking at the customer journey. The question that pops in my mind, that when does it start to cost something for the customers? What is free? What was?
So analysis is free.
Yeah.
Number one, we do DigiCheck. We get we do some recommendations for our customers, and then we say, okay, especially for SMEs, we have some project from federal, at the moment from the Inca project is funded by 80% for SMEs. So they have to pay 2,800 euros for this program on their own. The rest is funded by the state. And then we can start with this project for example, let's say 2 days for strategy, 2-3 days innovation, and then go here to the impact and transformation, and that for only 2,800 euros at the moment in this project. There are also, this ESF fundings from the European Union in Corona crisis, and so this is the point where they have to pay for in this project.
Probably in most of the countries there are some kind of public projects that support that kind of processes anyway. It might be in the budget of organizations which are public, because you mentioned at the beginning the structure, maybe because I know a bit. It's important for the partners to understand that BWCon is a private structure. It's not not a public structure. We would get basic public funding for delivering all that. So there is a bit of a different perspective. Maybe.
And also if you have no funding, you can pay for the process. We have also big companies like big energy companies and so on. They say we want to transformate. We have to transformate. I mean, we're all living now in transformation. We have to do something. We need help from external. We can't do it on our own. So then they get sometimes also not the whole process. Sometimes we offer also only an innovation process or implement an innovation process inside the company so they can do it on their own. That's very important, like a train the trainer model, to give them the advice and they have to do it on their own in the future. not only to do this part with us and next time also with us and with us and with us, and always have to pay for it. So we want to develop this customer and show our customers how can do this transformation and this innovation process on their own.
Yeah, thank you. Just coming back briefly again to my initial questions about so when you go out and you reach out to the companies, your entry point is something like the DigiCheck. So you focus on digital transformation, but do you have also requirements from other kind of innovation processes which are not specifically related to digital transformation? Are you dealing with them then directly, or are you transferring them to some other organization if it's about, I don't know, a new chemical process or whatever?
Not really a new chemical project. We are very focusing on transformation, on innovation, ideation processes, and not specific in developing for engineering or chemical process and so on, but also in this field, like this what I told you before, cultural change and so on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
develop teams, make them stronger for new challenges, change the organization, help them to work close together. This matchmaking with startups, for example, these are also services what we provide. And this is our the main services. It depends on, especially this is a very good example for the customer journey for SMEs, especially because the SMEs always or often get this funding from some of this national or international projects.
Yeah. So just to because the question also from Igor related to startups, you are not only serving startups, you're serving SMEs in general, no? Just to be clear, it's not only startups. Yeah.
So this is just to your question before, possible procedure. So we do interviews. We ask them what are the topics, what are possible steps, what are objectives, what you want to do, which people are involved, and then we start. The DigiCheck helps us to try to find out on which stage this SME is at the moment, and then after this recommendation we can go deeper, more technology, more in the people coaching and so on. And this is for us, this is I think you all know them, Steve Jobs. This is a very important quote from him. So he said you have to start with a custom experience and work backwards to the technology. You can't start with the technology and try to figure out where you're going to sell it. That means you have to understand what the need and the problem from your customer is, and then start with technologies. Sometimes we have also the questions and say, do you have something with AI? What does it mean? What do you need? What's your problem? What's your process? So just implement AI, because everybody's talking about AI. It doesn't make sense. So what's your process? What's your need? What's your issue? And then you can say, do we need AI, or do we need something else, or do we need this this process itself? So that's different. So but I want to tell you something about also this is the DigiCheck. I told you before, it's just an Excel sheet. We get some criteria about the company name, employees, and products, customers, and so on. So we get a short overview about the company, and then we ask in 8 different fields: strategy, culture, IT infrastructure, and so on and so on. And it's between 1 or 5. We ask the company, what do you think? Are you very good or very bad or in the middle? And then we get an overview about the company. This is just 1 or 2 hours with the company. It's just a very quick overview to get an insight how it looks like, what's the understanding of transformation, and so on. And then we can go deeper with recommendations on this sheet. And then I want to tell you about where are startups. Whoops, startups. So as I told you before, Babicon is one of the most important startup promoters in Baden-Württemberg, with startup accelerators, with networking, and with funding. So what do we offer for our startups? They will find a perfect ecosystem for rapid and healthy growth in the Babicon network, supporting business planning, access to investors, pilot customers, financing opportunities, supporting acquisition and accounting for subsidies, pilot projects to test technologies and business models, and accelerator programs with target offers for growth-oriented startups. So, and if you work, I don't know, Igor, if you work very close together with startups, and are you part of a startup accelerator, or do you have a startup accelerator, or
no.
close together with startups?
Actually, we're working on the I don't know, ideation and process, but until the acceleration process. Our idea is that through Node starting to provide additional, but everything what we are provide through the system is some practical support or development of some prototypes and boot camps ideation until creation of the business model.
Okay. So
Dominic, sorry, Dominic, just a few remarks in the framework of the project. We probably will have pilot projects where we'll try to set up accelerators programs. And so it's very relevant for the partnership in general.
So there's a question in the chat.
It is about of the accelerator programs, if they focus on any specific sectors.
No, not on specific sectors, but on tech industry. So this is important for us. And also, if we believe that is a good business model and we can develop it and we can help them, and we have partners inside our network. This is important. So just to say, oh, there's any startup, we get, I don't know, some euros for funding, and then after that we say, we are not interested in that. That doesn't make sense. So we try to implement this startup in our network, connect them with our members, connect them with pilot customers, and try to help them grow inside our network. And also we do this with local startups in Baden-Württemberg or in Germany on one side, but also if you are working very close together with startups and they want to go to the German market, you can come to us. We have a service like Go Global, and we help them. They get address from us. They get we try them to start in the market. We have with John. John is from VCG AI. He founded his startup in Slovenia. And then he met him with in the Mind for Machines program, and he said, "How can I go to the German market?" We said, "Come to us. We give you an office." He has now an office in our headquarters. You can start here, and we help him grow. Yeah, thank you, Luc. You know that's the address. We help him grow his business model. We support him. He won the Cyber One Award this year, or 2024, and he get a pre-seed finance, startup financing with us together, and he is now 7 employees in Slovenia, and you have 18 employees in Germany. So he wanted to build up in Slovenia his startup, but now he's growing very fast also in Germany. This is for circular economy, for waste. It's a platform, very cool product, and we help John and the startup to grow. So also, if you are working close together with startups, they want to come to the German market, that's also a service for us. call us, send us a mail and say, do you have any options for these startups? And we are open from all startup, from tech, high tech, deep tech technologies. Any further questions?
I have one, Dominique. I will come back to you.
Okay.
I have another question, Dominique. I don't know if it's the right.
Akos?
Oh, Akos, yeah.
Thank you. I'm just wondering of the geographical scope of the selection of startups or your activity. Is it defined events, or are you open for any ideas that connected to your region?
We are open for any ideas, any tech ideas for our region, but it's just the tech focus. So if you say kind of I don't know, we do production for baby clothing or so on, that's not interesting for us. So because we have not the field, so we are involved especially in automotive sector, mobilities. We're looking for energy sector, health and pharma, and production. So these are so the four or five biggest sectors we are involved in.
And what happens when a good startup is coming from Hungary to you for support?
It depends on what you want. If you want to go inside the German market, we can show you the options, how it goes, what you need. Do you need an address, an office? We can offer this to you. And then also we can show you how the subsidy program works, how you can do, for example, this pre-seed program, how you can find investors and co-creation partners. And it's up to you what you're looking for as a startup.
Okay. And just my final related question is that is your acceleration program is somehow connected to kind of incubation? It can be physical or technical incubation. Okay, yeah. Please go ahead.
This is a good question. So we try to be open for and look on every business model and try to understand what's the market. So we also have, I give you another example. There's a startup from it's founded at the University of Stuttgart and come to us and they say we have we can, how can I explain it? We can do some task at your computer without a mouse or without your fingers typing in, just with speaking or with your eyes, and they have different different possibilities to use computers and tablets and so on without typing anything in with your fingers. So, and they said that's important if you are involved or if you have any problems, and if you are if we want to handle it easier for and reduce the hurdles for people with disabled people, for example. So, and then we say, but this is also very important, not for the health sector and for medicine. It's also for the industry. They said, no, we don't want to go to the industry. It's so easy to go inside the industry because we have so many different use cases you can use. And they say, no, we want to stay there because we do a lot of scientists' work in this field. and we want to do it there. And say, but why? We have huge market. We have potential customers for you. There are use cases. And they say, no, we want to stay there. And that's it. So sometimes you have developed as a startups have developed a technology, and we say, look, there are other markets, there are other potential use cases, there are pilot customers. And so you can't say we only focus on this. We have to look what's the service, what's the product, what's the business model, and then we try to help them and say, if you go this or that, that's interesting. We have customers for you. We have programs for you, acceleration programs, and so on. Do you want to come with us? We want to grow with you. So, but if they say no, we want just this and that and nothing else, then okay, you can't do it. So that's why it's difficult for me to say we go only this or only that, because startups at the beginning and the early stage, you have to look what stage they have and at the moment, and what possibilities they have in the future.
Thank you.
But it's not like you would be running a specific accelerator place where there is a building and everybody comes into that building. You look at the best solution for.
No, we have also an accelerator, but most of the seminars are online.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
That works.
Right. Do we have other questions? There is one I wanted to ask you, Dominic. Because we talked a lot about digital transformation, and obviously we are also, at least on the policy level, but also on the company level, dealing a lot with the green transformation. Are you considering also? Are you already entering this field? Are you considering entering also the let's say in a similar approach to the digital transformation, the green transformation?
The digital transformation is a huge part of the green transformation. So it's very impossible. We also do a lot of let's say sustainability coaching. We're not writing a CSRD report or something like that for our customers, but we show them the possibilities and the options, and why is it good to focus on green technologies, on green transformation, and on sustainability. That's very, very important for us, especially if you are digital services. Means okay, you have maybe energy running your processes and so on, but it means you have maybe zero waste in this business model.
Okay, thank you. And I see we also have a question from the chat from Alexander. Alexander would like to have from you an estimate. What is the percentage of your clients that, maybe you can read it, which are successful thanks to collaborating with you? Do you have any kind of estimate that you can deliver on that?
I would say a lot, but different. Yeah, you know, startups are. Most of them are very focusing on money, financing, and grow their business, but also this external view, and we see a lot. And they always say, oh, what do this and that, and say, okay, we can in these workshops we look at also what are the big players do, Google and so on. But I say, look, there are good examples from SME companies inside our region, and look how these do, and then to give them another view, and to give them an overview what is possible and what we can do and how we can go to the future. This is what very happy with and very thankful for, to say, okay, you help us to grow again, to go in the future, and to deal with this transformation. So
maybe sometimes it's also a way how you consider success. I remember discussing with Jürgen, and he said, maybe thanks to Bevicon, there is a startup which fails as a startup, but could be the technology and the people were taken over by larger companies to develop inside the larger company something. Is it a failure? Is it a success? It depends a bit on the perspective. Sometimes maybe the way you say, there are different ways to bring people.
And one very important aspect is I go back on this slide, just very short. Oops, this one. So you will find very good coaches, maybe better coaches for ideation workshops, but they only do this ideation workshop, and then you have a lot of ideas and say how we can go on. Oh, that's not my business. I'm just a coach for ideation. So we can do from analysis, strategy, innovation, impact, transformation, changing the culture, changing the organization. So the whole process. So from the beginning to the end. And this is very important. And that's why they are thankful. They say, hey, I can, it's like a one-stop shop is Bevicon. And on all stages, I can come with my issue to Bevicon and say, can you help me at this stage? And there are other coaches and consultants and so on. They're just focusing on one, or they're focusing on technology. I'm the best expert for AI. Okay, so but do you need AI? Who can handle with this AI solution? Do you have the qualifications? Does it fit to your business model? It doesn't matter. I'm the best expert for AI. So that's just focusing on one topic, and we are focusing on the whole process. And if we need in this process one expert for AI, we have 6,000 experts in our network, and say, look, for this I need specific expert for AI. Do you have this knowledge and can help our customer?
Yeah. Thank you for that. That's clear. Igor.
Sorry to bother you, but
it's good. It's good. We're here for that.
You mentioned at the beginning that you're working a lot on the blockchain projects. So tell me about, are you developers using the blockchain technology, or you support? Are you hear me?
No, not really.
The connection is not very good.
With blockchain technology, but I didn't get your question. Sorry.
I will repeat. Maybe I'm stuck something. I don't know. We have strong wind here in Montenegro. So, are you develop a solution for the company who are not, like they have problem, and you propose some solution based on the blockchain technology? Or you working on support blockchain company who already developed project and you need some additional part? And are you dealing something with the blockchain for goods, or doesn't matter any kind of challenges? And are you working with the tokenization of the processes of different type of processes?
Yeah, that's what I told you before with the Steve Jobs quote. Yeah, start with the customer experience, start with the use case. So we're dealing here with strategy, innovation process, and then we say, okay, that's the idea. And what technology do we need for this? Maybe blockchain, maybe something else. I don't know. So we're not developing blockchain and then try to sell it or implement it in the process from our customers. But we say here at this moment, you have an idea for a business model, and maybe blockchain is the right technology for that. So we find partners who are very good and experts in blockchain technology, and they can help you implement it. And if it's food or we also work with ticketing and or in finance sector, it doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you. Do we have additional questions for Dominic? Or I can turn back to Dominic. Dominic, do you have I know you prepared a lot of materials, some other things you would like to tell us, or I think we went through a lot already of information.
So that's
Covered, no?
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I share my slides with you, and if you have any further questions, please feel to contact us. That's
Yeah.
okay, folks. Thank you very
We
much.
understood that you like to work in networks and collaborate with others. That's very fine.
That's
So,
the DNA from our network. So
yeah.
that's our daily business.
Exactly. That's also something we want to promote within the project. So we were very happy to have you here, Dominic. Thank you very much. You are welcome to stay with us until 12 if you have time. If you have other obligations, of course, you are also free to leave us and to get back to consulting some real companies, obviously. So yeah, thank you very much once again for this. And hopefully we'll get some cooperation out of it, so you get some return on investments on this presentation. Thank you, Dominic.
Welcome.
And so we think we can move to the second speaker of the day, which is Akash, and which everybody in the room, let's say, knows Akash because he's part of the project. Akash, I will still let you introduce a bit your presentation and what you will be talking about today. Please, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Luc. Good morning, everybody. I'm just sharing my presentation. I don't know if you see it properly.
Try to move. I can see it. It's a bit small on my screen, but maybe it's my problem. I'm not sure.
No,
it's a problem for all of us.
It's a bit small. It does only take part of the screen. Yeah, no, it works fine.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Akash.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Akash Szépföldi from Hungary. I'm representing one of the project partners on the one hand, and leading an innovation agency, which is a regional innovation agency of Central Transdanubia, which is even the name is regional, but we are more acting at national level and in the surrounding area, so all around Central Europe, and we are a so-called classic innovation agency who is leading, managing, and supporting development initiatives. And what I was asked today is to share our experiences on the cooperation with startup experts and research institution. So I will go through some key aspects together with sometimes I will talk about more theoretic side, but I always will offer some practical examples from our experiences in the past some years. So I will cover the ecosystem, the different needs, the link between the different stakeholders, the role of community development, and we'll give a short overview how we see the development and the operation of an accelerator. Just in advance, we are running 2 different accelerators, but we are not just dealing with startups, but so-called traditional SMEs as well. And what we always consider, and that will be the final part of my presentation, is the difference between the needs and the offers services for startups and for SMEs. So what we always start from is the collaboration approach. So all the stakeholders have diverse knowledge, resources, perspectives. So if we connect this diverse background, then it can contribute to long-term growth and success through collaborations. I have listed here some main elements which grounds the importance of collaboration. The first one, they are indicated with gray, and the deeper content is with red. So the first one for us is to access to fresh ideas and perspective. On the startup side, we always count on the diverse thinking. So startups often bring disruptive ideas and innovative solution that challenges processes, the traditional processes and thinking. So different way of thinking is needed. And additionally, engaging with experts, providing access to specialized knowledge and cutting-edge research and technologies that can inform and enhance information efforts. The second approach is the accelerated developments and implementation. One reason that led to this is the speed. I mean that startups are typically more agile and can iterate on products and services faster than traditional SMEs. So need quicker testing, quicker going step by step quicker than traditional SMEs. And that's connected to prototyping and validation. So startups are not starting to have their final product, or it can be service or product, but need some kind of validation of their prototypes. It just have a financial reason. So it's really it can be a really huge amount to develop immediately the final product without testing and validation. So the collaboration in this sense is crucial because these startups need some external resources, external knowledge, external technologies and infrastructure for pilot testing. The third one is sharing resources and the reuse risk. The resources shares can not just be money, but they can be technology, funding, human capital, and many other stuffs that are making innovation effort more manageable and of course cost effective. And that's connected to the risk mitigation, because collaborating has spread the risk associated with developing new solutions, because partners can share the challenges and cost. The fourth one is enhance capabilities and reduce risk. Here the knowledge transfer and the workforce development has crucial importance. While at the market relevance and user-oriented innovation, of course, collaborating with research institutions and startups always often open new avenue for funding, including grants, venture capital, so especially targeted to innovative projects. While infrastructure support may offer access to advanced technologies and infrastructure which is not given within the company or within the project. Of course, the collaboration is not just for doing something immediately, but for long-term, but for building long-term strategic partnership. It has a customer orientation on the one hand and the market orientation on the others. Startups as of our experience, startups are often closer to emerging trends and customer needs, which can help organizations stay relevant and in a rapidly changing market. And finally, of course, access to funding and infrastructure has a crucial importance in collaborations. We always raise the question how to identify the best way of collaboration. We have some key criteria. The first one is the alignment with the strategic goals. I mean, it can be a strategic goal of an acceleration program. It can be a strategic goal of the development project. It can be a strategic goal of the region, no matter which one, but it should be defined clearly. And of course, another key criteria is the relevant expertise or technology and the proven track record or innovation potential of the potential collaborating parties. We are using some tools and resources to develop a nice, valuable collaboration network. They are the startup databases, research networks, and technology transfer offices or organizations, and of course, industry events and networking platforms. I have indicated here two which has a great interest from us, and we use it with value. One is of course, there are several of this databases and platforms. The listed one here are Crunchbase and AngelList. They are widely used ones with a really big network or a really huge number of potential collaborators, not just from Europe, but from all over the world. And these platforms are not just offering collaboration, so not just offering finding the right parties to collaborate, but they are offering some ways, some services for collaboration on their own. And of course, I have indicated or I have highlighted the industry fairs and industry events. Just two examples here. Our agency is quite strong in food industry support, especially in digitalization of food industry. This year, no, it was not this year, it was 2024. So last year, for the reason of developing collaboration, we have participated in two leading events in Europe. One was Synergy Days in Barcelona, and one was Anuga Food Tech in Cologne, Germany. So these events are really good floors, really good stages for developing collaboration and starting new partnerships. But the question raised again, how to select the right partners? Of course, the compatibility, the capacity, and the impact potential is essential. I have added here a logo of the 5G Alliance for Connected Industry and Automation. It is led by Siemens. So Siemens partnered with multiple European universities and research institutions to advance the development of 5G technologies and application in various industries. So they are just started to build a partnership, a collaboration network to utilize the capabilities of 5G to enhance automation and connectivity in industrial setting. So what they did is somehow formalized the way of collaboration. Of course, it's an open network. It's always developing, but it gives some background, some stage for good collaboration. Just to go deeper to the collaborations, I have added here one case study from Hungary. My case studies are always from Hungary. We have here the MOL Group in Central Europe, seated in Hungary. It's the biggest gas and oil company in Central Europe. And they have a nice collaboration with one of our technical universities. It's called the Széchenyi István University, and they have joined forces to leverage academic research and industrial expertise in the energy sector. They don't want much. They want an effective collaboration for accelerating the research capacities, which they don't have much, but the university has, to improve the operational efficiency of the company. MOL had some has some specific criteria previously defined and communicated. So the ones want to collaborate on this energy research topic with MOL, they should have expertise alignment, of course, research capability, same innovation focus, industry expertise, commitment to collaborate, and huge potential for knowledge transfer. On the expertise alignment, strong engineering and energy program is given at that university, and they are providing academic foundation fully aligns with the MOL's strategic objectives. On the research capability side, the established laboratories and research centers are given, so the infrastructure is given, while innovative research projects are running for more than 20 years. Just highlighting the commitment to collaboration, both parties have demonstrated, even with a spelling mistake, a mutual commitment to foster a collaborative environment. So a collaboration can only work in innovation, of course, same in other areas, if it's a win-win situation. So both parties should find the values in this cooperation, and it's only working if it's encouraging open communication and open sharing of resources. So in this collaboration between the oil and gas company on energy and the university, they have some significant outcomes. This collaboration is running for 6 or 7 years now. So they have joint research projects for energy solution, mostly on technology side. They have started using cutting edge technologies. So in the company's operation, new cutting edge technologies could be integrated with the result of reducing energy consumption, operational cost, and of course reducing the environmental pressure from the company's operation. Of course, they have common educational opportunities, internship and research education programs, joint publications and presentation, and what is really important for the university is the recognition in the industry. So for the company, recognition in the energy sector, in Central Europe, and for the university, the recognition on the so-called university market or education and research market. So it's again a win-win situation for those parties. I have another example. While More was a really large company, can be called as multinational company, then eGreen, this farming solution company, it's a real startup company with just some people, and it's working on vertical farming, and they have found that so they are developing technologies, more lighting technologies for vertical farming, which is really hot topic, mostly in the urban environments. And they have found after 5 years of operation that collaboration with different actors, especially universities on the one hand, and what they really need is AI support. With AI company, they can offer to each other kind of new production strategies and integrated crop protection activities. So that's why eGreen made a collaboration agreement with one university. eGreen is operating in Hungary, in Budapest. The university partner is Wageningen University from the Netherlands, which is really strong university in agri-food related research and education, while IaaS4DR is an AI company who is dealing with agri-food related AI in South Korea. So that just shows that the digital channels opened the possibility of cooperation in a full geographic scope, no matter where the company operates. And yeah, the approach of the eGreen was to find in a niche market to find really good partners for collaboration, and this collaboration is resulted not just joint research activities, not just joint development, but new products on the market in a quite short term, in a 2 years term. If we would like to successfully support the ecosystem and especially the companies within it, we have to be familiar with the opportunity for engaging startup and experts. Yeah, we see here, we have tested here many different possibilities. One is the co-creation, what we use the most. Same huge importance with the pilot projects, so testing concept in controlled environment, and running advisory boards who are following the market processes and who are following the new developments. I brought here one more case study from Hungary. This is the case of the Hungarian Telecom, member of the Telecom group. They are the leading telecommunication service provider in Hungary, and they funded a set of co-creation workshops, a series of co-creation workshops to develop digital solutions close to the needs of the small and medium-sized enterprises. So the goal is to enhance their product offering and service experiences. They do it in a partly online, partly personal or offline format. They are running workshops with structured interactive sessions where like a moderator and a mentor or a mentor, the representatives from the Hungarian Telecom working together with SMEs, innovation expert, and industry leaders. They are not closing to they are not restricting the activities to telecommunication sectors. So it's more a multidisciplinary approach. They are dealing with retail, hospitality, logistics, and of course any areas that refers to the digital transformation. And they have some nice outcomes from this co-creation activities. New service concept development. It's really important for them to prioritize the features, so they get immediate response from the market, from the potential collaborators. The third one is creation of prototypes, and it follows by enhanced relationship. And of course, it's really important to develop the ecosystem and to empower the ecosystem for them. A bit different when a research or a public research organization, I mean, at least in Hungary, working together or collaborating with companies. Of course, the benefits are clear from the beginning to access the cutting-edge research and talent and opportunities of joint grant and funding. Mostly it going through a partnership agreement and kind of collaborative platform is always developed. It can be an online platform, but it can be a series, a set of events as well. We see here some practicalities. So from the theoretical research, we can move to more practical or advanced research. The improvement of education outcomes is clear. It's driving the sector and fostering innovation. The case what I inserted here is a healthcare related one. Is the collaboration of Richter Gedeon. It's the biggest pharmaceutical company in Central Europe, seated in Hungary, and the University of Budapest, the Semmelweis University of Budapest. They went through the joint research and joint product development. They have fully integrated the pharmaceutical research and education need to the curriculums, and additionally developed together a physical center which is called Health Innovation Center, where young researchers can join to the research projects or development projects of the pharmaceutical company. So what they have here is, of course, joint research projects, drug development and clinical trials, knowledge transfers, and of course the Health Innovation Center. I have listed or showed some examples of collaborations. Of course, if you have any question, just raise your hand and happy to answer. if not now, for us, it's really important to measure success of collaboration, any type of collaborations. I have indicated here again a case which is the collaboration between GE Renewable Energy and Hungarian University of Technologies. In their case, it was a collaboration for an individual product development within the wind turbines, some electric parts, and of course the prototypes are nice measure indicators in their case because it's a university collaboration, the research publication for the company, for both the company and the university, the commercial applications and the scaling up of the project on the one hand and scaling up of the connected startup on the others. And it's really important for measuring the success that all involved parties should measure it and should develop their own measurement indicators. And the project or the collaboration is only successful if these key measures are always set for all parties. These are more, how to say, formal collaborations on innovation, always offering joint resources, always offering services from one parties to another. But there is another way of cooperation in the startup ecosystem. These are the startup communities. These startup communities, kind of formal or informal networks of people, companies, businesses, with the with the goal to share insights in a specific phase. Really different form of startup communities are given. They are working in physical form, in online form. Some of them are thematic, some of them are more multidisciplinary, but all of them are following some steps for efficient operation. So first of all, we are running what, as of our experience, you have to go step by step in this process with building startup community. Otherwise, you can build it, you can start working with it, but it will not be an efficient collaboration, and it will not work for a long time. So you should determine first who your community includes. The objectives and the channels should be clearly defined. Always have to work on the content. So it's no worse developing a community with no defined goal. That comes to the fourth step. It's be active in the community. So not just the community leader or the developer, but community only gives value for the startups and for all stakeholders if they are active. And again, I go back for the measurement part. The progress and the success should always be measured. Some good examples from Hungary on startup communities. they have different approach and following different different objectives, but all are well operating. The first one is Prezi. You probably know this digital solution for presenting for sharing and presenting your thoughts. This is Prezi. It was a small startup 10 years ago, but now it's a large company, and there is a thematic design and digital community around it. Some of them, like the Cubator, it's a university related one, so it's running by the university, by one university, while we have the Hungarian Startup University program, which is an empowered collaboration of the public universities and the companies around them. While High Ventures, it's a financial collaboration, so the financial community, they offer mostly venture capital, and we have the Design Terminal, which is more an international community. So it works with the Visegrad countries, so Slovenia, Slovakia, Czechia, Poland and Hungary. So in this area, so its dedicated goal is to connect the community in these countries. Of course, yeah, Dominic, please.
Go on. No.
No,
Oh, it's okay to okay.
Yeah. No problem.
Two questions.
Please.
First one, is this only community between different startup accelerators, or do you also have the access to corporates and like matchmaking services and so on?
None of them are the communities of accelerators. So all of them are the communities of startups, idea owners,
Okay,
and accelerators. So yeah, we are deeply involved in the Hungarian Startup University program and the Design Terminal program. They are both offering matchmaking. So some of them are using digital platforms for that, and some of them offering physical events for matchmaking. We don't in Hungary, we don't have any well-working community of the accelerators. Of course, there are informal networks. So we are from time by time we are meeting and we are discussing the development of the market, but there is no well-structured formalized collaboration between the accelerators. So we are rather focused on the collaboration of all interested parties along the quadruple helix, of course, with the focus of startups. And what we see is that the community of startups have always be added to the community of large companies, because most of the industry needs are coming from them. So if we can connect them efficiently, then new ideas can raise and new joint projects or products or services can be developed. So that's the main reason behind these communities.
Okay, thank you.
And just to add, three of them are public financed. So of course the university program and partly the Design Terminal and the High Ventures are public financed, while the others are private financed. Mostly, some of them, the Hive is financed by one large company, while the others are kind of shared financed by the companies. But most of them are, no, all of them are free for the startups. So the matchmaking, the participating on the events, the collaboration are free for the startups or the idea owners. Of course, for the next steps, if some special service needed, then it's a different word. But to collaborate and to take part in these communities is fully free for the startup participants. Yeah, these communities, we see that these communities offer some benefits. I have indicated here some, of course, getting advice and resources, having feedback from the other companies, additional brand exposure. Yeah, it's in many times it's important, the support from the crowd, so companies can gather from fully different sectors, and they can still add new perspectives for the individual projects and development. Of course, it's important to enhance team culture and attracting clients, talents, investors. So over these communities, there are some other support structures. They are, I have listed here some, and highlighted the main objective and the service offer. We are running idea incubator and accelerator, but here and have some offsite startup program, and we are acting as a business center. Yeah, but many other way of supporting methods are given, like the co-working, the Fab Lab, which is really well operating in Hungary, or the early stage business center, which is not so well developed. The most important element here is to follow the opportunities, or to consider the opportunities what the different supporting scheme give. So it is different for an accelerator. It's of course different for a Fab Lab or a co-working place. You can see here, for example, that co-working is really nice for hosting, while Fab Lab is for project maturity and technical means. So we always consider this when we promote and offer these services. What we see as the key area of support is the technical development, the strategic planning, market analysis, product design, funding, different funding schemes and financial advisory, regulatory advisory, marketing and branding, networking and talent acquisition. These are the most common services what we offer for our startup and SME community. And I told you that we are running 2 accelerators. We consider it as a supportive tool, but only in the case if we follow some kind of rules to develop and operate. When we start an acceleration, we always make a kind of program proposal, and always answer to the following question: why now? What is the growth model? What success look like? And what resources require? So we see that a successful acceleration program can only be made if these answers are properly and fully, if these questions are fully answered in advance, and the program is fitted to these answers. Yeah, the accelerators are different one by one. Two biggest group is the thematic accelerator and the multidisciplinary accelerator. I have listed here 5 characteristics which is really different between them. Of course, the thematic accelerator is focusing on specific industries, while the multidisciplinary is a diverse field of innovation. And over the core activities, they are the ones that more focus on the entrepreneurship. So running and developing the business, not the product and the service on its individually, but the whole business. So they are more business oriented. Of course, there is difference in the mentorship and in the resources and the skills that can be acquisited. The investment, so in the thematic accelerators, targeted investment, which are really sector specific, while in the multidisciplinary acceleration, various business models can be followed, sometimes with unconventional solutions. And on the networking side, for the thematic accelerators, more potential customers and partners are given, while at the multidisciplinary, the cross-field networking from different areas is more common. Of course, we call it. So we follow the approach that says that you need a program MVP. So this MVP is a kind of it can be a landing page or kind of information sharing platform, a clear offering, an operation phase, and a communication channel. And what is really important is the client journey. So we always start the programs, or at least try, with clear client journey. I have indicated here some examples what we follow. The first two, so the upper two are client journey of our EDIC, Digital Tech EDIC operation, mostly for startup companies, and it goes through step by step all the way from the starting point to the end declaration of the companies. We feel that these client journey definition is really a success factor of the operation of the program. And what I have indicated down here, they are the two platforms what we use for running the programs. The one is Teamwork, which is a project management platform. So we can manage here, we can get together here and communicate with the members or the participants of the different project. And the other one is more a special one. This is the HubSpot what we use. So it's more a CRM, and it offers us to follow the individual projects, the individual consultancies, the individual projects. So we have tried with many Excel sheets and many different solutions, but having a quite high number of customers now, we see that the only way is have some structured digital information background. But frankly speaking, they are quite heavy in money. So these solutions are quite expensive. That's why you have to carefully select the ones that you would like to use. And the third success factor of the acceleration is the partnership development and growth loops. We always start with business support organizations, incubators, chambers, and different business support organizations, and we strategically connect to them, and they feel immediately that they are acting as a core partner, and they are open to mobilize their own network. So that's really important for us to reach a high enough network for the acceleration program. And of course, we always plan to scale, introduce new program tires and goes. Yeah, it differs from program to program, but the credit differentiation, if there are any credit, then it can be useful. And of course, always have to expand the startup related user-generated content. They are really happy with the case studies, specific templates, specific supporting schemes. So we try to always include them in the acceleration programs. And yeah, it's a really crazy slide, but just to highlight something that we have some learnings. You can check it. Of course, I will share with you the presentation and you can check it. So we see that clear objectives and structure is a must, together with a transparent and well-defined selection process, diverse mentorship, clear resource allocation, tailored support, of course, the community building aspect, and finally, at the final stage of the program, the evaluation, and which is really important in the long term, from a long-term perspective, is the post-program support. It can be alumni or different ways of post-program support, but it seems really important for the participating startups. So these are 3 acceleration programs, 2 of us what we are running, and the third one is what we are participating in. They are different. The first one is a Spark, is more a business sprint, so it's a short-term acceleration program. It's running twice a year, always with different thematic focus. While the Blue Planet Startup Trampoline is a specific program for green and climate neutral startup developments. And the third one, this is the V4 Startup Force. It's for the Visegrad companies. It's a kind of collaboration of different business support organizations and accelerators. And just as a final hint, which I would like to really highlight as a debriefing, that we as service providers should always consider that startups primarily seeks resources, validation, and support for rapid growth, while SMEs focus on continuous improvement, strategic partnership, and operational efficiency. So we can clearly define the right services or right supporting services for startups and SMEs. So startups more go for funding and investment, validation, mentorship, networking, prototyping, market entry, and always want agile and flexible solutions. While for the SMEs, incremental innovation, access to advanced tech, strategic partnership, regulatory compliance, and operational efficiency together with the skill development of the employees seems to be the most important service needs. So when we develop an acceleration program, we always have to consider this. And when we develop a program for SMEs, we try to focus on the green ones. So I have talked about a lot of topics, but always wanted to highlight the way and the opportunity and the potential impact of the collaboration and networking, and the role of the support organizations in this process. Of course, in case you have any question, feel free to ask, and I will share the presentation and you can contact me with further questions later on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ákos. Super detailed. We can take a few questions. From my perspective, I hear, well, it's not a surprise, also thinking about the project. We will develop those pilots which aim at developing new services or improved services. I liked a lot your structured approach to defining the criteria and to define the different steps for developing those services. I think that your presentation could be very helpful for us when we will draft our pilots, our 9 pilots, to use some of these materials, these methods to define the customer journeys in our pilots, to define the minimum viable program, let's say, and so on, and to have a structured approach to the definition of what we do in the pilot. It looks like a good fit, I think, to what we want to do. But it's a lot of information, but we could take a few questions if there are some coming up right now. Otherwise, within the partnership, we will have the opportunity to meet you, hopefully in Hungary for the next meeting, which is close to.
I'll be there. Yeah.
So we could go on with this conversation there. But I will definitely come back to you with respect to the pilots. We will discuss them in Hungary, so there could be something that you could bring in here, very, very useful, I think. I don't see any hands raising. No, Ákos, I think you killed everybody.
Yeah.
It's this very detailed presentation. That was, but I will go through it before the next meeting. Very good. So for now, I would say thank you, Ákos, for preparing that and put that down on paper. It's not so often that we see that structured approach to collaboration, and it's not like to put it into a framework. Nice. And we can move to Bernhard Kölmel for the third and last presentation of today. Our third speaker. So Bernhard, you have about 45-50 minutes, like we discussed. We are in the plan currently with all the speakers. So it's and we are now leaving a bit the topics of collaboration and so on. We in a broad sense, which was the core, let's say, of the business offers, which was the core of the 2 first presentations, and with different approaches. Bernhard will bring us in in another area, which is more about business intelligence. So just checking my screen. Bernard, are you here with us? You can take over the stage if you like.
So hopefully everybody can hear me quite well.
Can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Me too.
Now, normally I say you have to brace yourself for 90 minutes because I'm used to give lectures. I tried to shorten my presentation in order to have time and room for discussions. After this quite detailed approach, I'd like to give you some information and deliver kind of suggestion on a pragmatic and holistic innovation management approach. This kind of activity we have tested in the last 2 years with some 200 SMEs, and in general the program or the approach was quite successful because we succeeded to bring a company to the market which was sold 1.5 years ago in the US for $3.7 billion to a US company. It was in the domain of AI and supply chain management for electronic goods. So it's tested and validated and should work quite fine. And it's easily adaptable to the needs of each type of company and situation. So innovation management, is this the biggest challenge of the 21st century from my point of view?
Bernard,
yeah.
Are you trying to share a presentation? Because we cannot see it.
I have. It says you share a window.
Okay, I cannot see it. Maybe the others can see it. I don't know.
I cannot see it as well.
No, we cannot see it.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I shared a specific window and didn't work, but now when I share the whole screen, it works.
It works.
So innovation management is, from my point of view, the biggest challenge of the 21st century, especially in Europe, where we have high cost pressure, no real access to raw materials, a very big population and aging society. So we need to tackle all these issues and come up with good and feasible long-term oriented innovations. Basically, most companies and even the education at universities work on slow logarithmic change for organizational structure and approaches towards innovation management. But the technologies, and here also the convergence of a wide variety of technologies races ahead, and these technology changes have an exponential rate, and so the gap widens continuously. And that's the reason why we say the only sustainable competitive advantage for our region, for Europe, is any organization's ability to learn faster than the competition, especially on a global scale. And therefore, we have to apply replicable and context-specific tools and approaches to make these companies successful. I agree to the previous presentation. There are different types of innovation, and companies tend to be quite good in this incremental domain where they have established market, established product, and so they can do business as usual and come up with small incremental innovation activities, keep the companies going. Quite often, these innovation activities are centered around efficiency, lean management approaches, which are basically necessary but are not sufficient for the long-term viability and of a company. Therefore, we suggest that a kind of holistic innovation management approach needs to be tackled, where either a new product or a new market is tackled, and in the, let's say, culmination, there's a diversification in both domains. So holistic innovation management is complicated, and I tried to find one of the most complicated illustrations with quite a lot of work to be done. And this is what we see quite often from consultants, which is shown to companies. And the problem is that, from my experience, 95% of the companies are overwhelmed. And even when they are asked to produce a kind of roadmap, it's done. I'm in contact with a lot of companies in our region, even some very big companies, and I would say not even the very big one have well-established roadmaps. It's just bottom-up incremental innovation management. So all these topics and content might be fine, but it must be streamlined so that it fits startups or growing companies from the SME domain, which make up more than 70% of all employees and more than 95% of all companies all over Europe. Complicated, and even here, these activities from the business intelligence side with trend management, environmental scanning, or technology management leads into the end to an innovation roadmap. Yeah, and just after that, the companies can start with innovation. We see, and probably you have also noticed it, that a lot of small and medium-sized companies have huge challenges, even organizing a structured sales, organizing internationalization activity and so on, let alone they are not able to target a kind of holistic innovation management. So our suggestion, keep it simple and stupid. Not too simple, but simple enough for each and every company to adapt and tailor it towards its needs. So what is our holistic but still pragmatic approach shaping the future? First of all, they need to design and decide and get a business intelligence input, what is possible in the future. Then they have to decide what horizon are we working on, so which time frame do we tackle. Then what do the stakeholders, customers really want? What offer, product or service, can we derive out of this? Then biggest issue is, is this offer feasible from a technical, organizational point of view? Is it economically viable? And is it attractive for the customers? And this third item, attractiveness for customers, is the most important one. And once this decision is proven or taken and the hypotheses are proven that it makes sense to develop it, these companies should somehow follow a kind of agile stage gate approach in order to reach the goals or the intermediate goals. In order to do this, we enhance the approach with some tools, methodologies, and approaches which could be easily copied and used. And with a, let's say, quite short workshop, most companies are able to comprehend these steps, and based on this, enhance their innovation management process to achieve much better results. Still not perfect, but better than 99% of all cases I see in industry. So what is the first part? The companies need to understand what is possible in the future. Here I like to use publicly available data. This is quite some effort which must be read. And from my point of view, the most sophisticated and best content is published by the Future Today Institute with a Tech Trends report, Amy Webb. It's published every year in March. This report has 1,000 pages, and it kind of provides a heat map with technologies and domains, business domains. And the heat map goes from green, still some time to wait and get understanding, to dark red, where the company is informed you must really take action right now because the business landscape is changing very, very fast. We have also the hype cycles for emerging technologies and specific domains, which are basically quite good. However, if you want to get a deeper dive into these reports from Gartner, they are very expensive. Other reports like the Future of Jobs report, Megatrend analysis, and so on, Deloitte, McKinsey, Boston Consulting are quite good, but are not really relevant. If we support a company, nowadays we apply AI solutions, and one of these AI solutions is Notebook LM, which is freely available from Google. And there you can upload these open documents, analyze them, and apply them to your domain. And so you can easily, within 2-3 hours, get a good understanding what is the technological future for your company. Basically, and depending on the type of horizon which you are addressing, technology trends are relevant, customer trends are relevant, market forces are relevant, industry forces are relevant. And if you go for the longer horizons, Horizon 3 and so on, dynamic megatrends and macroeconomic forces are relevant. This is a good checklist in order to analyze, did we consider all relevant drivers and influence factors for the future. After that, we have a basic understanding, and I always suggest that at least the CEO or a CTO or innovation manager should be aware what is happening. The company has to decide which time horizon are we addressing with our innovation project. In the long run, all of them must be addressed, but if you need to earn money urgently, Horizon 1 or between Horizon 1 and 2 is quite important. There are other models for these, let's say, time conscious approaches. There's the cone model, which is used by the Future Today Institute. I don't care. It's just really essential that you say we have short-term innovation, mid-term innovation, and long-term innovation. Short-term innovation, we can improve our current products and services. Long-term innovation, we have the chance to come up with disruptive technologies and solutions. And Horizon 2 in the middle, the mid-term innovation, is the step in between to become future-proof and viable in the long term. The 3-horizon approach was developed by McKinsey, and I insist a little bit on it. It's quite important by each and every activity to discuss it at the beginning and keep on reminding every stakeholder in the process to concentrate on the horizon which was decided to tackle. Because we observed very, very often that different stakeholders, different participants in an innovation management meeting concentrated on different horizons, so they were unable to talk to each other. Good example is autonomous cars, autonomous driver, autonomous vehicles. Yeah, if I talk to friends and I ask them, do you think it's possible and viable? 50% say yes, because they know of the examples in the United States, San Francisco, Waymo, and Austin. And 50% say no, because they are quite aware of the big challenges we face in Europe in order to establish autonomous vehicles. Yeah, so it's quite important to pin it down to a region, to a market, and to a specific time frame. Otherwise, you are not able to achieve a kind of agreement. The next part is jobs to be done. This is connects to the previous presentation. We need to understand the needs of the customer. Yeah? And here on the right-hand side, you see a belt. And perhaps some of you can answer me, what is the job of a belt? Keep the trousers in place. Yeah, this is the functional job. But it could also help you to look nice, yeah, to look fashionable, or you can show that you're rich. If you own something like a Dolce & Gabbana belt, and you can show this belt. If you look at the European car industry, Nobody would ever buy a Ferrari or a Porsche or a Mercedes or so in order to get from point A to point B. They buy support for emotional aspects, like fun of driving. You know, if you remember the old slogan of BMW, or a kind of status symbol. I own a Porsche, I own a Ferrari, and I can show it to everybody. Yeah, and so 99% of all business decisions are not taken on the functionality, but on the social or emotional aspects of a job to be done. This is quite important because based on this, you can identify the real needs. And this goes then along with the customer journey, and that most of the cases not really just a technological gadget or technological functionality is driving the purchasing decision, but the completion of a meaningful service and job. Sorry, my phone is ringing in the background. I have to stop it. So now I'm back. This has to be supported afterwards with a kind of approach which is called testing business ideas. This is derived from the activities from Osterwalder. And here we try to identify the 3 dimensions which must be true. This is desirability, viability, and feasibility. These 3 dimensions must be supported with the identification of market assumptions, feasibility assumptions, and viability assumptions. This must be tested in this 8 on the right side, and then you can come up with a viable long-term business model which might be successful. How is this done? First of all, we need to understand the sweet spot and start with the desirability. We have to identify and learn, is there any customer who needs this kind of product or service? And is this customer willing to pay for it? Does it solve a problem and deliver a solution? Here you can see as a tool we use the value proposition canvas, also provided by Osterwalder. Do we have the approach to acquire new customers and keep them? And then we have a good start with the desirability and the need of the product. Please, again, this is closely related to the jobs to be done and very, very often not really only connected to the functionality, but to the emotional and social job to be completed. The second part we have is the feasibility. So can we do it? Do we have the technologies and the resources? Are we able to produce or to deliver the product or service? And do we have the right supply chain and partnership in order to provide and deliver the product or service? And the last dimension is the viability. This means what are the costs of the product or service? Do we have an acceptable revenue or pricing model in order to earn more than the service costs? And then we have a sustainable viability in the long term. And for an innovation to come true, we have to really acknowledge that only if all 3 dimensions are true, the innovation can be successful. If we don't have a customer who's interested in our product, forget it. If we can't build it, if it's not feasible, it doesn't make sense, at least not for our company organization. And if it's not viable, this means if we lose money with it, it doesn't make any sense at all. So only if all 3 dimensions are true, the innovation approach might be successful. Now, just one hint. If we tackle, for instance, desirability, and we have a startup versus an established company, for the startup, the acquisition of new customers is very important, because at the beginning they don't have an established customer base, whereas for the established company which wants to grow and to transform into new business domains, the retention of existing customers and the acquisition of new customers is important. At the same time, for established companies, the partnerships are quite often already established, resources are available. So sometimes established companies can take a kind of shortcut, and so not all domains of the sweet spot need to be analyzed in great detail, but only those which are responsible for the success of the new project, product, also known as innovation. Here's the big picture where the desirability, customer needs and willingness to pay, the feasibility, can we do it, and the viability, does it make sense from a commercial economic point of view, is highlighted. And so these three dimensions are pictured or laid down into the business model canvas, which was developed by Osterwalder 16, 17 years ago. In order to establish the desirability, we should use the value proposition canvas on the right-hand side, because the value proposition canvas is made up out of the jobs to be done, right-hand, on the gains, how can we improve the life of the customer, and the pains, what makes it easier, what makes the life of the customer easier, and why they are going for it. I'd like to give you a good example. I stay quite often in the United States and tend to use Uber. I didn't like to use taxis because I was never sure, does the taxi arrive in time? How much does it cost? Is it able to deliver me to the destination in time? Is it too complicated? Is the taxi driver friendly? If you nowadays use an Uber app, yeah, you can be quite sure that the timing, the friendliness, the quality, and the cost is defined in advance, and you don't have any pains, and you don't need to fear that you have to pay too much, or that you are cheated at, or that you are molested, especially as a woman in the United States using a public taxi. Now the next part. You know, the worst thing to happen is, yeah, the boss says, yeah, I know our customers will use and will need this. Yeah, so the desirability hypothesis or assumption is defined by the boss. This is wrong. What we need to do is to establish a clear-cut strategy in order to identify assumptions which are made, and these assumptions have to be tested afterwards in order to verify that the desirability, feasibility, and viability is really there. This could be done in a workshop, for instance, with Post-its, different colored Post-its, one for the desirability, one for the feasibility, and one for the viability. Then these Post-its have to be grouped into a dimensional structure. This means the assumption is important and we don't have any knowledge. If it's unimportant, we don't need to test it. And if we have the knowledge, we also don't need to test it. So we have to go only after assumption or hypothesis, which are unproven and which are important. So what are the steps? Do they want this? Are there customers which are interested in it? Who are the target customers for our solution? What problem do we solve? Jobs to be done. How do our customers solve the problems today? What can our customer, why can't our customer solve this problem, and so on. And based on this, we can come up with a big number of assumptions Then we should structure them. If we are able to prove with one assumption that our hypothesis is not true, we can kill the complete innovation idea or come up with other pivots and approaches. And then this should be done and repeated for the feasibility. Are we able to produce or deliver the product, and the viability? Does it make sense from a commercial point of view? And we could use Post-its or any kind of stickies in different colors in order to structure it, then prioritize them, and then do a kind of assumption testing. It's like we have heard in the previous presentation, this could be fake sale, this could be a concierge model, this could be a commerce shop where the product is already delivered. There are hundreds of different hypothesis testing methodologies. Most of them are easy to use, and there's a big number of books which provide details how these assumption testing could be executed. This information, the assumption has to note it down in the test card. And out of the test card, we can create the learning card. And with the learning card, we can fill the information if the assumption of the various fields of the business model canvas or the value proposition canvas are there. So what is the approach? Starting with assumptions from the different domains, so viability, feasibility, desirability, we try to prioritize the assumptions. Start with the easy ones, with the test cards, then execute the ones which are fast and easy to implement. If more details are needed, we try to get more details to more tests. This can then lead to the MVP. And finally, we have the learning card, and based on the learning card, we can decide we go for the product or service, or we kill it. This approach is iterated as long as we are achieved the goal of a product or a service which we can offer in the future, or till we are able to kill it and say it doesn't make sense because one of the 3 dimensions cannot be achieved, and if one of these 3 dimensions cannot be achieved, the innovation doesn't make sense. Yeah. So if we have an idea, an MVP, we come up with assumptions. Try to learn based on experiments if the assumptions are true. If all of them are true, we can go to the market. If not, we have to start again with a kind of ideation business prototype and assess if it might be better, and then go through follow these 8 approach quite some time again until we achieve the point of decision. Experiments become too expensive, we kill it. We are not able to verify at least the most important assumptions, or we are quite sure this kind of innovation project might be very successful and we will be able to promote it and with likely success in the market. This is the basic approach. What is important to know? What is a kind of important aspect? The left-hand side of these innovation management activities are sometimes not really structured. They are challenging, creative, sometimes crazy. You must be able to think out of the box. On the right-hand side, when it comes to this kind of agile stage gate approach to deliver the product to the market, it must be governable, it must be well planned, it must be structured, and so on. And from my point of view, there must be a handshake and a handover of the innovation project responsibility at a certain point of time. Yeah. Because I know only very few persons which are able to coordinate and manage both activities. And out of our experience, this is the biggest challenge in a lot of companies, because the persons which initiated the innovation project are not able to deliver the results, and business persons which are normally responsible for the process-oriented business activities are not really innovative beyond incremental changes and improvements. So I always try to advocate for this handshake and handover and employ a wide variety of personality types among collaboration in order to achieve a pretty good outcome. The implementation of innovation, we try to advocate for a stage gate system because this helps us to measure KPI and pass through gates in order to say, yes, we have enough information for the desirability, viability, feasibility. We have achieved a kind of MVP. We have gathered the customer feedback and so on. Still within these phases of the stage gate system, it could be agile, or quite often it should be agile. And as already mentioned in these previous sessions, open innovation, collaboration among stakeholders increases the rate of success a lot. From our point of view, the drivers of innovation are technology, supply, and demand pool models. So thank you very much. I would have quite some slides in the background. However, I prefer, and I think it's much better since you have now 2 hours and 50 minutes of discussion and presentations, that we have a short period of our time in order to discuss the various presentations, and I can give you some answers of what and how we do it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Bernhard. You're right. When we were planning 3 hours training session, we were thinking, oh, it's a lot, but we have a lot of topics to cover also. So it was the compromise. I hope it will work for everybody. While people are thinking, Bernhard, I have a first question about how long does it take to achieve, if you're working with, let's say, a traditional company, what can you expect? How long does it need to get some results, or some kind of average? Let's say, what are you getting results in weeks, in days, in months? And what is your experiences? How did that?
It really depends on the commitment of the stakeholders. Yeah. For instance, yesterday we had this kind of meeting, and it's a company. This is a company which produced the IKEA catalog. Yeah, worldwide scale, 27 languages all over the world. And last year, IKEA decided not to publish the catalog anymore, but to go fully online only. Yeah, so out of a sudden, the company lost 40% of turnover. And now they have excellent experts, and this company needs to transform their business into completely new domains. Otherwise, they need to, let's say, reduce the company size by 50% in order to be successful. With this kind of company, we are able to do this within a week. Yeah, because they are really committed. They know if they fail, they have to change very, very fast. In bigger companies, and the biggest company in Pforzheim, which I consult very often, it's a supplier of exhaust pipe connections to the engine. With this company, the process lasts typically 18 months. Yeah, so we have different departments. They meet. We have 15 advanced workshops. But this company is rich. They have a big bunch of money, which they can spend. And if they take a decision, they want to have this decision accepted by a wide variety of employees and company stakeholders. So they also use these stakeholders in order to gain internal commitment. What is quite interesting that especially technology-driven startups need quite a lot of time because they are mostly coming from the feasibility point of view, so they have excellent knowledge of the technologies, even the partnerships which might be necessary, but they don't have idea of the customers' acquisition and how they can retain the customers. It's slightly better from the commercial point of view, the viability, but the need assessment, the desirability is the biggest challenge. And again, depending if they have employees or even the CEO, the startup person, if they are able to grasp and understand the idea that desirability is probably the most important key to company success, it could take quite some time. So there's not one answer which fits all. It depends on the acceptance level within the company.
And the urgency, the level of pain or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
And can you deliver it from the perspective of business support provider as one person? Do you have a team who is working on that, or do you have some?
It's better in a team. I have some experiences, and for instance, we apply well-proven methods, for instance, out of Scrum, where we gather ideas on an idea board. Because when we start a kind of innovation meeting in a well-established companies, the first 1 hour, 90 minutes, the participants of the meeting are not able to talk about the new innovation. They always complain, we have this and that problem. I'm so busy, I have no time to do innovation. And so we established, as a learning out of Scrum, a kind of backlog. And so we use 60 minutes, 90 minutes in order to collect the backlog, the complaints, the challenges of each employees, promise them that we will organize future meetings for them, with them, in order to tackle their specific challenges. And then after 90 minutes, they are able to concentrate on the innovation at hand. So a second person which notes down these challenges, which helps to organize the meetings, which helps to structure and categorize the assumptions, is quite good. If we do it with very experienced companies, so we tend to do this not only once, but very, very often with companies. It can be done alone. If you have a co-supervisor or the support person, it can be done alone. Also, it depends in the startup if we are able to send beforehand a kind of documents which might be influential, like the Future Today report, and they have read it. We don't need much time in order to get them going, but they can be productive right away. Still, experience, at least in bigger organizations, we see that 90% of the participants have not read the material. So we need to have a kind of initial session in order to bring everybody to the same point or level of knowledge, and then we can start.
Do you also aim to train the companies at doing it by themselves somewhere?
Yeah, this is what we do quite often. And then depending on, again, we try to be quite adaptive. We see what is needed. In some cases, if it's urgent activity, we complement our basic approach with additional approaches. Probably all of you know the blue ocean strategy. So if a company is under big pressure and needs to come up with new solutions in a very short period of time, Horizon 1 or between Horizon 1 and 2, a blue ocean strategy might be a good approach in order to help them. Or even we come up with marketing or strategic approaches, like we help them to define what is the total addressable market, what is our company-specific market, which we can achieve in a very specific period of time. So in time of need or with specific requirements, we try to adapt our approach with well-proven methodologies, which probably most of you know anyway.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking. Do not hesitate to raise your hand and jump in the conversation. And I've started to discuss with Bernard, but it's open to everybody, of course. And do you implement that in the framework of publicly funded project, Bernard? I guess
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, we do it within public funded project. I have right now together with BWCon a European research project for circularity of plastics industry, where we use this approach in order to identify how to get traction in a quite complicated market of circular economy projects. Yeah, they are absolutely necessary in the long run. However, most companies are hesitant right now because it means quite often additional costs if they have not enough money or fear a future downturn of the economy. They are reluctant, so we need to go into details and provide also basic support for the innovation management.
Yeah, very good, thank you. Looking to the participants, see if there are any questions.
So for everybody, feel free to ask for more details. I have just presented 20 slides out of 200. So I have a big set of slides which we use, and I'm willing to distribute them. And so you can tailor your own workshop using this material.
This is one thing we could also think. We will discuss that we have a next meeting in 3 or 4 weeks in Hungary. When looking at our pilots, that could be a methodology we could test, for instance. But it's only one among different ideas. But in this case, I liked or I found, interestingly for us, also in the project, it's not only addressing startups, but it's addressing traditional SMEs, which is, we learned also from Akash that the needs and are different, and the ways to the services are different. So it's also, and in our regions, in our project regions, even if we discuss about startups and accelerators, like in most of the regions, probably our business support providers locally, they need to address the traditional companies to help them tackle the transformation, definitely. Do we have questions for Bernard? Yes, Sandra.
Yeah, hello to all of you. Sorry, my camera doesn't work. I don't know why, but that is clear. Thank you for really great and interesting presentation. And I just have one question related to more details about your methodology. When you share your presentation with us, can you please share your contacts? Probably I will have a lot of questions related to methodology, and can I be free to contact you?
Absolutely, no problem at all. Most of the content I'm not brilliant enough to invent my own methodology. So we analyzed 50 different methodologies and tried to use the best parts of each and every methodology and adapt it towards our needs. We tested this methodology more than 200 times, and this is not the final methodology. And probably next week I see a new part which might be interesting, so I adapt it all the time.
That is really nice.
Yeah, but this is how life is. Yeah, I never insist that I'm right or correct. I just can deliver you a kind of best practice. And feel free to contact me anytime. I'll open to share everything with everybody and answer all the questions.
Thanks a lot. I will for sure, especially in this part, also in this part which is related to circularity of plastics. And I have a lot of questions, and we are working a lot in field of circular economy as well. And I will prepare a question for that part. Thanks a lot. It was really nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, probably people will need some time to look at it. We will share it, and we have. I mentioned at the beginning of the event we have a learning phase until September in the project, so we will have plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, and we need
It
to
looks like you
shrink
want
that
to ask
kind
a
of.
question. Yeah.
We need to shrink that kind of presentation, because I don't know, when I learned first time about design, co-creation methodology and board of innovation, you mentioned as one of the sources of information. I read several days, so some just part of material, or have training 5 days, and
Yeah,
that kind of presentation shrink and to fit in the half an hour. It's like, I don't know, we don't have time to write all the notes.
Yeah, but it's of course, but it's also meant as an inspiration. And if we decide
of course.
further in the pilot, then we can involve Bernard or other experts to deep. But it's clear, it doesn't work in half an hour. Even in 3 hours, probably it would not be. We need to go into doing the things, trying the methodology at some point.
For just one mention, and we can even do it as a further workshop. I'm working at the university, and I have quite a lot of students. And now I ask them to come up with AI support for innovation management. And so they have analyzed 25 different tools. And they should put emphasis on the tools which are free of cost in order to support innovation management. This is not perfect yet, but a lot of work could be done or supported in this domain, even by AI. And again, perhaps in spring or early summer, I would be prepared to present also what we have learned from the students. They collected all the tools, came up with case studies and examples in order to show it to everybody. Not yet perfect, but interesting in support, at least in specific phases of the project.
Well noted, Bernard. We can do that and include in the meeting. Okay, Dominic, thank you for being with us. Very good, very nice to have you. Goodbye. Bye. And if I'm just looking if some questions are coming. Otherwise, we are getting close to the end of the meeting, I guess. Maybe too much information for one day, but a lot of good ideas, I think, for us and relevant to the project. So it will need some thinking on how we can use it in the project or outside of the project. Of course, everybody is welcome to contact the speakers. They all have mentioned readiness to collaborate, to answer questions. So it doesn't need to be connected formally to the project, but the core idea was to get some input to those topics, which are complex topics and wide topics, and to collect potential input for potential learning for our pilots. Let's say, how can we all better provide innovation support to the companies? And we have heard from different ways to do that, different approaches, and all can be useful, of course. So let's see how we can implement them in our activities. But that's only the first of our 13 training sessions, so we will get a lot more. But of course, it's also materials for the coming years. That the project will end, but the innovation support will go on. So it's not. It's only a starting point in our capacity building program. So thank you very much again to the speakers. Dominic just left us. Akos and Bernard are still with us for preparing the materials. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought 3 hours was a bit long, but I didn't get bored, even though, so it was really great. Still learned a lot. And so this is a very good point, very good presentation. Thank you. And thank you also to all the partners for joining this meeting. I think we have a good attendance from the partnership, which is very nice to see